Good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing today? How are you, Kayla?
I'm doing good. How are you, Camryn?
I'm doing great. We're excited to be here. We have one service today, 11 o'clock service, on this gorgeous Memorial weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little chilly for me, though. I won't lie to you. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a little bit warmer. But it's beautiful.
Yeah, I am glad. Today was supposed to rain, and I just looked at the forecast, and we are going to at least be sunny today. Not super warm, but sunny.
I know. I will say, I looked at the weather for this upcoming week, and it's like rain almost every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck is going on? But anyways, we're excited. Please let us know if you guys are here looking at us in the chat. That would be fabulous. So, really quickly, what I also want to invite you guys to do is get your guys' phones, whatever you're watching this on, and share this live stream for me, please. This is a way to get the word out. It helps everybody know that this is an awesome option for you guys. Hi, Josh. I don't know where he is, but he's watching us. How you doing? And this gets the word out that there are lots of people. I know you have friends in different parts of the state. I have people as well. And so my dad had just mentioned in our huddle, there are people who maybe are just ill and cannot come into church, and we still want them to know that this is an option for them. So please get out, share it, and then it's no sweat. It's no sweat at all.
And we are on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram,
and YouTube.
YouTube, there you go.
And YouTube. So we're on lots of different streaming forms. So please, guys, do that for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So really quick, we're gonna jump into the question of the day. So question of the day: what is your most used emoji? So, yes, if you guys, I think you can coffee on my porch with my dog. Good morning, guys.
Nice,
hi, Drew. How you doing? So if you guys don't know how to find your most used emoji, you literally can just go into your phone, click on the little like happy face emoji, and then on the first screen, it'll be like most recently used. Those are all your recent. So I'm gonna get my phone out.
I'll get mine out too.
Yeah, Kayla, get your phone out too, and we're gonna look and see just what is my most used emoji. So, on my phone, I have an iPhone. It doesn't, oh goodness, I'm doing Siri talk. Hold on. I'm gonna start texting people. So, I don't have just like one. These two are my fave. Are they really, Josh? That's funny. Oh, I like the hand one as well, because I feel like that oftentimes throughout the day. So, you don't just have one. At least my phone doesn't just have one. No. I've got like multiple. So me and Kayla said that we were gonna pick like our top two.
Yes.
So what are your top two, Kayla?
So I use this one a lot with like the hands up.
Do you really?
I guess it's my excitement. And then I just started a run club. So as you can see, I have this little run emoji that's starting to come up. So we've been using that with the heart a lot.
Okay. So I typically have, I don't know if you guys know like the Bitmojis. You know the Bitmojis where you can do your own little like.
Oh yes, I love those.
Like your little thingy.
That's
me. So I like have myself doing like that, or then I just do normal heart, like just the heart. I do hearts, and then the same as Josh, the hand heart. I like the hand heart.
Same.
Or like that, because that's my life every day. Like struggle bus. But
I also use Slack at work, so that's like my whole other messaging. That one I use the hand heart or the melting emoji.
Got it.
So depending if I love something or if it's troublesome, it will either be melting or loving.
So you guys, please let us know. I kind of feel like in a way this is like a good inside scoop into people's like personal thoughts and feelings. Like, what are your go-to emojis? I would be interested to know what people's go-to, because you know there are people out here who don't even use emojis. I'm like, insane. You're so boring. Your life is so boring. How do you not use emojis? I will say one thing that frustrates me though is I like to use the Siri voice to text a lot because that just helps me out when I'm driving and things like that, and it makes me sound so boring. She just does a sentence, period, and I'm like, I don't text like that. I need some excitement and some emojis in my life.
Exclamation point.
All the things. Also, I mean, it depends on who I'm talking to. Obviously, if I'm talking to like work people, I'll be a little more cordial, but you know, most of the time. So anyways, all right guys, so those are our most used emojis. Really quick, Kayla, tell them what's happening at Forest Park.
Yes.
Coming up very soon.
So VBS is coming up very, very soon, and you can register now. It's open at fplive.org/VBS. So would love you guys to sign up, you kiddos, and also we definitely need volunteers. So
yes, and Josh, if you're watching this, can you give us the date? I don't have the date right here for VBS, but I would love to know the date so that everybody can see it, because this gives people kind of an option. Yeah, you might be able to find it on Facebook or something. This gives people the option of Perfect. Thanks, Josh.
June 9th.
June 9th through 13th. Amazing.
Yes.
And so, like Kayla said, fplive.org/VBS. So you can sign your kids up, or you guys can go on yourself and sign up to volunteer. And I know we've kind of spoke before that you don't necessarily have to volunteer to be in a crew. You can help with the snacks, you can help with the cleanup, you can help with the preschool. Maybe there's some media things, because I know we're going to be having some music and things like that. And so whatever you guys are interested in, we will take all the help that we can get. This week is really just about focusing on our kids and making them excited to be in church. That's kind of the whole goal here. And I think
we do have cards on the window too for
thank you for
supply
Kayla.
donations. I know that we got some bags for cornhole and some pens.
Ooh, I love cornhole. I love me some good cornhole.
So you can donate those, or you can also just bring it for them to use for the day.
Yes. So it's very similar to if you guys have been here through Christmas with us with the angel tree. There's cards on the windows. I think they also have them at the kids area, right? I think they have them in both. And so you grab one, it says the need, and then you just bring it back to the church. And that, even in that, if not volunteering, doing that is a huge help for us. So thank you guys so much for that. All right, so Kayla, let's just get into the game.
This is fun.
This is a fun game.
Yes.
I agree.
So in the spirit of VBS, we are doing a budget challenge. We have $20 to plan an entire VBS day with everything you can see on the screen.
Yep.
So, did you want to go first, or should we write at the same time and present out?
Yeah, so the way we're going to do it, I think, if you guys can see on the screen, those are me and Kayla also have a little cheat sheet paper here that we're going to be kind of watching. So we're going to tally it. So we have $20, and then we have to basically find out what of these things. But the trick of this game is, like, I'll let Kayla go first because I'm feeling super nice today.
Oh, thank you.
And so I'll let Kayla go first. So she's going to pick something, and then I'll go. But I cannot pick what Kayla chooses and vice versa. And then we have to get up to $20, and then we'll discuss.
Yes.
All right, Kayla. You're up first.
My first one.
All right, animal cracker.
Do I need to say it out loud, or do we do it at the end?
No, I think we can do it after. So she's got hers, so I'm going to pick one of mine, and then we'll discuss afterwards.
Do we want to switch off who gets the next one?
Yeah, I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
Let's do me, and then we'll go back and forth.
Just moving our graphics so that they can see it a little better.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
That should be better.
Sweet.
So I think...
Nice.
So we're going to do bubble. Because what kid doesn't like a bubble machine?
No one.
And how much is... Oh, only $3. I'm good.
Yeah,
all right.
there you go.
All right, Kayla.
Instead of that for decor, I'm going to take the cardboard forest animals, and I will explain that in a bit.
KK. I know exactly what I want.
What am I at? I'm gonna tally these as I go. So I'm gonna add the next one. Yeah.
I'm gonna go in debt in a second.
Yes.
Station 6. 6, 8, 9. So I'm at 9. Okay.
I'm adding mine. So mine was 2. So it goes from 4 to 6. So that might be confusing, but
that's okay.
That's
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. All right. So your turn, Kayla.
Ooh, I am definitely gonna do extra volunteers. I feel like that is a huge one, and it's only $3.
I agree with you there.
And that's
guys, we're in the zone here. We're in the zone.
$9.
You're at 9. Okay, I'm gonna do.
Emergency supplies are very smart, Jen.
I agree. So that is 3. So I'm at 9, 10, 11. So I'm at 12. Okay.
I'm gonna do a Bluetooth speaker because I feel like that's a good deal.
That's a good idea.
And music.
Wait, hold on,
makes
Kayla. But look, borrowed from somene's car.
Oh.
So what condition is it gonna be?
Right. Oh no.
I mean,
we're gonna try it out. We're gonna try it out.
We'll try it out.
Hopefully our extra volunteer is good with tech in case something goes wrong. But we're gonna try our best here.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm at 11. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I got 4 things for $11.
Oh, I'm gonna
do parent
alert system.
Oh, that is smart.
Because come get these kids.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Come get these children.
And if something happens,
12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, I'm at 16.
Okay, I'm going to do an activity, which is the slime making station. I feel like
you can't. I already did that one.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. I already grabbed it.
Bummer. Okay, we're going to do basic outdoor games, though.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Oh, yeah, because I would do the obstacle course, but I don't have enough. So we're going to do basic outdoor games. So it's going to take me to 16.
I have 4 left. $4 left.
You snagged the slime station.
I'm
that
sorry.
was such a good one.
I knew. I thought that was a really good one.
I'm at 16. Okay. $4 left.
I'm going to do wet wipes.
Wet wipes.
Because kids are gross.
Yes.
You know, I have a kid. I can say that. $2.
I'm gonna.
So
take
I'm at 18, and I've got $2 more.
I'm gonna take the first aid kit because
that's a good idea.
I need something if something goes wrong. Hopefully nothing goes wrong, but.
Have you done cardboard forest animals?
I did. Those
okay,
are
you
so
already
fun.
did that one.
I'm at 17.
Mystery fruit punch. Why not? Let's have fun.
Let's do it.
Okay.
And I have $3 more.
So I'm at 20.
Which.
All right,
you
Kayla.
already have the wet. You have the wet sponge. Like what's gonna do for
I know.
$3? Okay, this is gonna be. I'm not gonna use my whole budget here, you guys.
I guess maybe you don't have to. If you feel confident.
What I'm gonna do is a CD player that skips randomly in case my Bluetooth speaker goes out. That way.
Okay,
I have
that's a good idea.
You know,
That's a good idea. So you have $2 more? Do you want to use your $2?
Nah, I don't think
We're good?
can.
Okay,
Under
so now
budget.
we're going to present our perfect VBS days. So I'll go first. So what I have on mine, bubble machine, because kids love bubbles. I mean, I feel like I even love bubbles, and I'm not a kid. I love bubbles. Slime making station. I'm sorry. I had to grab that one.
That one's the best.
Kids love slime. They love being gross, obviously. Yes. Wet sponge dodgeball.
Ooh.
That sounds so much fun. Are you kidding me?
It does.
Parent text alert system. See, I have the fun and I have the safety side.
Yeah.
Because if anything, happens, I can just write to your cell phones. That makes parents feel much more comfortable. 50 wet wipes, because
who doesn't need wet wipes?
Let's be real here. Kids get their hands dirty. We need to clean up from the slime making station.
Yes.
And then the last thing, I'm not so sure. Mystery punch, but it does say red only.
Red only.
I don't know why it's a mystery.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's just some fun stuff in it, like maybe some fruit or something.
Or
I'm not
some,
sure.
Like, toys,
That would be kind of cool. Hopefully not too small of toys, because choking hazard.
Yes, let's not do that.
But
smart.
Okay, Kayla, your turn.
Awesome. So my VBS day, we are picking animal crackers because there's a bulk variety of them. So snacks all day long, just in case.
Awesome. Okay.
And I also love animal crackers.
Same.
They're amazing, delicious. Who doesn't love them?
Right.
I do have cardboard forest animal cutouts. This one is actually near and dear to my heart. When I was younger, my best friend's mom used to always make me decorations with cardboard, and she made the most gorgeous things. So I feel like it might seem like nothing, but you can make the coolest stuff. So I'm not an artist, I can do that.
It's very special, yes. That's actually really fun.
I think it would be really awesome.
I agree.
And it's inexpensive, so. Yeah. Extra volunteer, because we always need volunteers. Again, please sign up to volunteer, but an extra volunteer.
More advertisement.
Always
please sign up.
Yes. And I'm also taking 2 things for music and tech, because I feel like music makes the mood. 100%. Who wants silence? So I have
been the screaming, drown out the screaming a little bit.
Yeah. We have the Bluetooth speaker, which was borrowed from someone's car. So hopefully that works.
Hopefully a beautiful bougie car. We didn't say what car, but hey.
But if that doesn't work, I do have a CD player. It does skip randomly, so maybe we can incorporate a game into that with the skipping.
Oh, see, you're thinking. That's a great idea.
Because I also did get basic outdoor games.
Okay,
so
amazing.
I don't know, maybe
kind of incorporate them all together.
Go stop.
Absolutely,
so
that's amazing.
I feel like it came together. Oh, last thing, very, very important. For my emergency supplies, I do have a first aid kit, because we need Band-Aids, we need those things,
Yes, that's amazing.
Just in case, but
awesome. I love your VBS day. I love your VBS day.
I love yours too. You have this slime. That's going to be so much fun for the kids.
That's what I'm saying. And so honestly, guys, this was a really fun game. I loved it. The real VBS that we're going to have is going to have this stuff and more. They do, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do themed snacks. Every day with the certain story, they do snacks. So it's it just is a whole thing. They really go above and beyond. I know my kid, he came last year. He loved it. He's super pumped to go again this year. The volunteers love it, and I think it's also a really good opportunity to connect.
Yes.
Like with kids who maybe are newer to the church, I would encourage them to come because you might meet people, you might make friends, and then you guys never know. But we have about 7 seconds left, so thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Have a great afternoon and a great service.
Yes, thanks, guys. Bye.
Awesome.
Good morning, Forest Park Church. We are so happy you guys are here. Go ahead and stand up on your feet. We are going to worship this morning. We're going to sing about the God who keeps all his promises. Come on, let's put those hands together. I'm not going to wait for the walls to fall. 'Cause I know a name that will bring them down. I've got a praise waking within my soul, and I'm not ashamed to declare it now. Sing it out. Light of the world, trample the darkness. Oh, nothing can stop it. You are the God of the promise. Every word will be accomplished. Oh, nothing can stop it. You are the God of the promise. Prepare the way, the King of glory comes. Before his name, every fear must bow. Throw off your chains, Jesus destroyed them all. Up from the grave, he is with us now. Light of the world, trample the darkness. Oh, nothing can stop it. You are the God of the promise. Every word will be accomplished. Oh, nothing can stop Your promises never fail. I've got stories I live to tell, so I'll pour out my praise again. You're worthy, God, you're worthy of all my praise. To the broken, I've witnessed it. To the hurting, I've witnessed it. To the lost, I will witness it. And I'll tell them this, I'll tell them what I witnessed. To my family, I've witnessed it. To my city, I witnessed it. To the nations, I witnessed it. And I'll tell them this, I'll tell them what I witnessed. Amen. Yes, church. As we prepare to sing this next song, I want to invite you into a moment of honest and surrender. This song is actually a throwback song. It is one of my favorite songs. I mean, when I say throwback, 90s, like it is, sorry, I know it's not that far, but it is such a beautiful song. And I mean, maybe you've come in here carrying some burdens, distractions, or maybe just the weight of the routine is just, gosh, it's just the same thing over and over again. But this is a chance to breathe, to let go, and just to remember that worship is not about us. It's about a God who meets us with love and grace every single time. Let this song be a reset for your soul and a quiet turning to your heart back to the one who is always there waiting with open arms.
When the music fades and all is stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something that's of worth that will bless your heart. I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself, it's not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart.
Come on, church, just sing this out.
I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus. King of endless worth, no one could express how much you deserve. Though I'm weak and poor, all I have is yours, every single breath.
Come on, church.
I'll bring you more than a song, for a song in itself, it's not what you have required. You search much deeper within, through the way things appear. You're looking into my heart. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it. When it's all about you, it's all about
back to this moment. Yeah, we are coming back to the heart of worship, to what it truly means to give you glory and honor that you are more than worthy of. Because we know that it's not about the instruments or the voices on stage or in this congregation, God. It's just all about who you are and you sending your son to die on the cross to carry our weight, to carry our sin, so that we can live with you for eternity, so that we can be a witness to those around us about your love and your goodness and your faithfulness. So God, I pray in this moment that we will remember what true worship is about, and that we will come back to the heart of it. When the music fades and all is stripped away, all we have to do is simply come to you. So let's sing that chorus together one more time. I'm coming back. I'm coming back to the heart of
worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus. I'm coming back to the heart of worship, and it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord, for the thing I've made it. When it's all about you, it's all about you, Jesus.
It's all about you. 'Cause it's all about you,
Jesus. It's all about you, Jesus.
God, thank you for this moment again. God, I pray that we will continue to remember what true worship looks like when we simply come to you. And it's in your name that I pray. Amen. Guys, thanks for worshiping with us. You may have a seat. Take a look at this video.
Hey Forest Park family, before we take a moment to receive the offering for today, I wanted to share something that's been on our hearts, and this is Drew from the media team. He is a retired Marine, and just getting to know Drew and getting to know his passion for veterans, we have something that we want to share with you in honor of Memorial Day. And so first of all, let's honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave us the ability to even celebrate on Memorial Day in a free country. And so, first of all, we want to honor soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guardsmen, and all those who gave to make sure that this country is free, make sure that we have the ability to worship on Sunday mornings, make sure we have the ability to do everything, because it wouldn't have happened without their sacrifice. So, first of all, that's how we want to start, is by honoring them today.
For a lot of us, this weekend is about family, grilling out, music, playing by the pool. But for many veterans, Memorial Day can be a very, very dark time, remembering pain and loss of fellow service members. And that is very real. But we need to honor those, not just mourn them. And that's why we're launching something here at Forest Park. It's a veterans ministry.
Veterans are a huge part of our area. You know, we have the Navy, the Coast Guard, all in proximity. And we have a lot of veterans who are here at the church and who have come through Forest Park. And so we know them very well. And we know that there's a lot to do to help support them, to help make a place where they can feel safe, where they can feel supported in terms of finding other veterans, finding resources, and doing things that really actually make a change in their life, because we know how hard it can be when you get out of such a hard experience like being in the military. So we want to do everything that we can as a church to support, foster connection, help heal in a lot of ways. There's so many things that we can do as a church, and we want to be the church, not just say that we support veterans. And so Drew's had a passion for this. He's done this over the years many times. I've seen it myself with people who are on the media team, or people just in general in the church. He's been a source of wisdom, a source of guidance, mentorship in a lot of these veterans' lives, and he has a passion to lead something like this. And so we don't know all the details. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but we know we need to start something like this. And Drew has been somebody who stepped up and said, I want to do this. So we want to give him full reign and support him as a staff. And we want to make sure that you know what's going on and how you can maybe be a part of it.
We've already reached out to organizations like the Semper Fi Fund and America's Fund who believe in what we're trying to build here. This is a call to all vets here, your friends, and your families. We'd love for you to join us and be a part of that, to be a help to shape what it's going to become.
It's ministries like this that make Forest Park a special place, a place that is actually making a difference in people's lives. It's real, personal, local efforts like this that we believe can make a difference. And so every time you give, as we're about to give, know that you are giving to something bigger than just the upkeep of a church. You're giving through a church to change people's lives. And that's something to be excited about. That's something to celebrate and take part in and really make your step in how you can help in those things. So like Drew said, if you are a veteran or you just have a heart for veterans and you want to help in any way you can, be a part of this and keep an eye out for what we have coming.
The real thing that we're trying to do here is form a sense of veteran community through Christ and through Forest Park. Most of us will never see what giving gives to the church and what it's capable of changing. But that doesn't mean that you can't feel it. We're excited about what's ahead, and thank you for giving. Thank you for believing in this mission, and thank you for honoring all of those who sacrificed on this Memorial Day.
Yeah, and I want to thank Drew for stepping up and making this happen. And you're going to see more to come about what we have in store to help support and build a community for veterans here in Elizabeth City. And so with that, I just want to take the offering. The Dream Team members are going to come down and pass the baskets. But before they do, I want to pray. God, thank you for this particular place, this particular church, and the people you've brought to make a difference in people's lives and to start things like a veterans ministry, to honor the families and people who have gotten out of their service and who are in their service, and then to also honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and give us the ability to have a free country. And I thank you for what you're doing at Forest Park. I thank you that we get to be a part of it. The momentum and the things that are happening are truly exciting. And thank you for everything that you're doing here. It's in your son's name that I pray. Amen. Dream Team members are passing the baskets. If you want to give cash or check, you can drop it in an envelope or just drop it in the basket. You can also give online. Go to fplive.org/give and find out how to give online. You can set up a one-time donation. You can give every week or every month, and it's a really easy way to set it and let it go and put intention behind your giving. And you can also text the word give to the number on screen for an easy way to find the link there. So again, thank you for your giving. Thank you for your generosity in supporting Forest Park. And again, thank you to those who sacrificed this Memorial Day. We get to honor them. So we're getting into the message now. Hope that you have a great rest of your Sunday.
haven't spotted him, but I wonder if he's made a nest hereabouts.
He'd be a fool not to. A grand old tree like this one.
How old do you suppose it is? How long do you think it's stood here?
I don't know, sir. Perhaps it's always been here.
No. No. I remember when this place was something quite different.
Watch your step. Some of these bogs have been known to swallow a whole pig.
I had not been aware that the park was such a very nasty place.
Nothing park-like about it, if you ask me.
The lowgrounds were steeped in the overflow and mush of pigsties and slaughterhouses. And the stench was sickening. Yet, I could see that the time would come when New York would be built into rows of monotonous straight streets and angular buildings. Only then would the priceless value of the park be fully recognized. The work was arduous. The scope of the task, almost beyond comprehension. And those who oversaw the endeavor were unqualified and liable to permit any absurdity.
They want to see results now. They want to see something beautiful.
I am making something beautiful.
Frederick, would a few geraniums kill you?
No, but they are a trifle. And I aim to make something that lasts. Something that will outlast all of us.
Why have I undertaken such a thing? And would then recall a certain summer day and my grandfather.
A fine old tree, is it not?
It is.
Would you be surprised if I told you that I was the one who put it there?
I would indeed.
I was about your age. I went out into
He
the swamp.
described to me how he had dug it in the swamp and brought it on his shoulder and been allowed to plant it all by himself. It came to me that there was nothing in all his long life of which he was so frankly proud as the planting and the beautiful growth of this tree.
Tis wondrous what can come from a little hard work and a great deal of time.
Pardon me, sir. Might I go play now?
That is precisely what you should do. Laying out Central Park, we determined to think of no result to be realized in less than 40 years. I have all my life been considering distant effects and always sacrificing immediate success and applause to that of the future.
Amen. Good morning. Man, those lights are bright. Going straight from darkness to lights in your face. Hey, happy Memorial Day, everyone. So glad you are here this morning. My name is Preston Waller. I am the family pastor here at Forest Park Church. Want to say just how grateful we are that you've chosen to celebrate this Memorial Day weekend with us, whether you're here in person or watching online. We want to jump right into today's message. Today, we really want to talk about a little bit about what you just watched, not so much the actual Central Park aspect, but this idea of legacy, right? Building a legacy that lasts and really thinking about what you're leaving behind with the life that you're living now. Whether you know it or not, Forest Park is a church that is all about the future. We think constantly about the future, what we want to become as a church, what we hope our legacy as an organization will be. But more than that, as pastors, we want to look into our people and say, what is the legacy, what is the life that our people are leaving behind when they go? Because truly, Forest Park is not the building, it's you. So your legacy determines our legacy, and we're constantly thinking about how we can leave a legacy that is God-filled, life-breathing, not only for our families, but for our community. And so today we want to talk about how do we do that as Christian men and women. And I know this idea of legacy is something that we don't talk about a lot. We don't think about a lot. In fact, I would say that when it comes to legacy, you really almost only think about it in terms of when death occurs, right? When someone dies, you go to a funeral and we get together and we gather together, we speak to what? That person's legacy that they're leaving behind, the things they did, the memories we have, how they lived their life in a way that impacted the people living. And so legacy is not something that's on the forefront of our brain 24/7. But what I've learned is that as we get older, as we continue to grow, as we become more seasoned, as some of you like to say in life, the more your legacy begins to become an active part of what you think about. As you grow and you see your little baby boy who was born, and now all of a sudden that baby boy is 15, 16, 17, and he's bigger than you, stronger than you, taller than you, you begin to think, man, time moves quickly. Life goes fast. And the faster life goes, the more we typically don't stop to think about the decisions that we're making. But the Bible talks about our life. It talks about our legacy. And it talks more importantly about how we use the time that we have left. And so before we jump in today, one of the things we have to come to the conclusion of is we have to remember, as fast as life goes, as much as we got going on, that our life is limited. The life and the time that we have left is limited. You are not an infinite being. There will be a day where you are no longer here. And the Bible is constantly reminding us to consider the days you have left. Consider them. How much time is left in your life? What will you do with the time that is left? How will you use it? How will you steward it? How will you make the most of it? That's why the psalmist writes in Psalm 39, verse 4, I love how he says this. He says, show me, Lord, my life's end and the number of days. Let me know just how fleeting my life is. And the psalmist is saying this to God because he's saying, God, I don't want to be naive. I'm not indestructible. I'm not infinite. My life is fleeting. I'm here one day and I'm gone the next. God, help me remember just how many days I have left. Help remind me to take those days seriously, to take that time into account and how I live my life now, because my legacy matters. Count your days. Consider the days you have left. So I want to do a quick little exercise to give you an idea, to not be depressing or morbid, but to really consider the days you have left. If you're here today in person and you range between the age of 18 to 22, if you're 18 to 22 and you're in the room today, will you just shoot your hand up really quickly? 18 to 22. Okay, I see a couple of you. No, Ron, you're lying. Mr. 52-year-old, you ain't no 18. 18 to 22. On average, you've lived about 7,000 days. Which seems like a lot. 7,000 days so far you lived, 18 to 21. Based on the average life expectancy of human beings in our world today, you have about 20,000 days left. On average, every human has about 27,000 days, and you have about 20,000 left. Seems like a lot, right? Until you ask some of us in the room who are older how quickly those days go. What about if you're in the room and you range anywhere between 40 to like 46? Raise your hand. 40 to 46. Don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with being 40, 46. All right, on average, you have lived about 16,500 days of your 27,000 days, meaning there's more days behind you than there are in front of you. That doesn't mean you can't live to 100. I'm just saying on average. You have less days ahead of you than you do behind you. What about my people in the room I love so much, you seasoned veterans? If you are 60 to like 65, raise your hand, 60, 65. Don't be ashamed, 60, 65, great people, love you. You have lived, on average, let me see what I have here, 24,000 days of your 27,000 days. 24 of your 27,000 days you have lived, which means on average, some of you are closer to the end than you were in a long, long time. My example of this is not, again, to make you sad, depressed, morbid, but to remind you, man, life goes quickly. Time isn't in an instant. And if we're not careful, we will not consider our legacy that we're making and forming with the days that we have left. Because whether you like it or not, whether you even know it or not, every single one of you in here is going to leave a legacy. Whether you know it, whether you're working towards it, whether you care about it, whether you're investing in it, you will have a legacy that you leave behind you when you die. The question is, what kind of legacy is that? And you may say, well, Preston, legacy doesn't really matter. I don't care what people think about me. Really, the only thing that matters is when I leave, my family's taken care of. They have enough money in the bank. They don't have to worry. All that really matters to me is that my family's good when I'm gone. My legacy, what people think of me, doesn't really matter to me. But Mark Batterson, who's an author and a pastor, he's a pastor in DC, he says something that's interesting between an inheritance and a legacy. This is how he defines it. He says an inheritance is what you leave for someone, but your legacy is what you leave in someone. See, what you leave behind for your family is nothing more than an inheritance, material possessions that they can use and blow through. Your legacy, what your family, what your sons, what your daughters, what your grandchildren take away from your life is what you leave in them. And your legacy far outweighs importance when it comes to God than your inheritance. The question is not, how do we leave my family comfortable when I die? The question is, when I'm gone, how will my kids remember me? How will my grandchildren remember me? How will they talk about me? What will I have left instilled in their hearts so that they use what I've taught them and model what I did to make the world a better place? And I've been around teenagers enough time. I've done 10 years in youth ministry now. And I know typically when I talk to parents and I talk to teenagers, typically if I said, what do you want your child to be or do or look like? Like what's your plan here? You're raising these young men and women. What do you want them to look like? Most of them, on average, I'm not saying every parent, says something along these lines. Well, I just want my kid to work hard. I want my kid to make a good salary, make a good amount of money. I want them to have some fun. I want them to have fun, make good money, work hard. As long as they can take those principles away from me, I think I did a good job. And there's really nothing wrong with working hard, making a good living, or even having fun. Nothing unbiblical about that. But my push today, my challenge today is there's way more important things to instill in our children and our grandchildren than just simply working hard, making a good living, and having fun. There are things that God is wanting us to take seriously that is more valuable, more life-giving, more soul-breathing, more eternally determining than just how we learn to work hard, make money, and have fun. And so we're going to look at Paul's example today. We only really have one passage of scripture. I want to put it on the screen. Paul is at the end of his life in this book. It's 2 Timothy chapter 4. And he's writing to Timothy, who is a younger minister in the faith. So he's older. He's literally in prison. He's literally, when I say at the end of his life, about to be killed, literally soon, for his faith. He's at the end of his life and he knows it. And he's writing this letter to Timothy, someone younger in the faith. And he says, I want you to learn from my example. I want you to learn from my legacy. Here's what I want you to know. Here's what I want you to know from my life and legacy, what you should do. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 6 through 7, Paul says, "For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come." He knows his life is about to end. He says, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race, and I have kept the faith." That is the basis for everything I want to talk about today. How do you leave a legacy that matters? How do you have a legacy that inspires generations to come to want to follow God, follow him, use your example as an inspiration for their life? You have to fight the good fight. You have to run your race, and you have to keep the faith. This is what Paul talks about when he's giving a commission to Timothy, and it's the same commission I want to give to us today. Fight the good fight. Run the race, keep your faith. You want a legacy that matters, those are the three things we need to do. So point number one, I just said it, right? Fight the good fight. Fight the good fight. Paul knew that life wasn't easy. He knew that he would endure persecution, be thrown in jail, beaten for his faith, but yet every day he chose to wake up and say, today I'm gonna enter into the fight. Today, I'm going to have some scars on me from the fight, but the fight is worth it. See, every day you're going to fight. And hopefully by that, I don't mean literal fist fighting, right? I hope you're not that combative. But every day you're going to fight. You're going to fight with your boss. You're going to fight with your spouse. You're going to fight with your kids. You're going to fight with your financial struggles. You're going to fight with your mental health. You're going to fight against temptation. Every day you're going to fight. The question is, what kind of fight am I fighting? Not are you going to fight, but what fight are you going to choose to fight? Because Paul doesn't say every day I fought. He says, no, I fought the good fight. I fought the God fight. Every day I woke up, I choose to fight for the things that matter. I fought for the kingdom. I fought so that people can know God. I fought every day so that people can know just how loved they are by Jesus. I fought every day serving the least of these, serving my enemies. I fought every day so that people can know the good news. I fought every day so that people could be encouraged and have hope, and I could break bondage of the slaves and free the captives through Jesus' power. Every day I fought the good fight. And when you fight, whether they're fights, physical fights, or metaphorical fights, as Paul is talking about, they leave scars on you. How many of you watch UFC? I don't watch UFC, it's not for me, but I know enough about UFC to know that if there's this term in UFC, if you fight enough, if you're a seasoned fighter, you develop this thing that people call cauliflower ear. If you've ever seen pictures of it, you know what it looks like. It's cauliflower ear. Your ears are so beat up all the time, they eventually just begin to swell and they just kind of stay that way. And the joke is, if you ever see someone at a bar out in town and they challenge you to a fight and you see their ears are puffed up, probably not a good idea to fight that kind of person. It means they got some experience. And it's this kind of visual that, hey man, I'm fighting, I'm a fighter. But in the same way, we develop scars as well. Here at this church and at my previous church, I've had the privilege of being able to know and get to talk to many veterans. People in the Army, people who served in Desert Storm, people in reserve, people who went to Afghanistan. I've met a lot of them and I'm thankful for their friendship. But I've seen veterans who have scars, physical scars that run down their entire leg from their fight. I've seen veterans who have burn marks etched into their entire arm because they had to run into a fire to pull out their troops. I've seen people who have these nasty, just visual scars of the fights and the battles that they've been in. One thing you may not know about me is I have a scar. Let me tell you my scar. My scar was one day I was working, I was pressure washing a 2-story house, and I had to put the ladder up against the side of the house to get to the second part to pressure wash it. It began to rain, so I got down and waited for the rain to kind of pass. After the rain passed, I had to move the ladder down. Well, instead of dropping it down and moving it over 6 feet, I said, I can just move it over 6 feet. I don't have to lower it. I'll save some time. Well, with a slippery ladder and a top-heavy ladder, as soon as I moved it, it obviously fell, and it hit me right on the eyelid. And as it hit me on the eyelid, I began to gush blood. It wasn't that bad, but I was gushing blood. And I got a scar from it, but it's etched into like my eyebrow. It's like this big. Like when I say a scar, I mean like literally this big. But it's in my eyebrow, and you can't even see it. My point in that is that when you're comparing scars, when you're comparing battle wounds, when you're comparing how you got the scar that you got, the fight that you got into, that scar and that story is pretty embarrassing to tell next to a veteran who has burn marks down their arm from when they saved their troops from a fire. Right? You're standing next to someone, Preston, how'd you get that scar? You try to make up a story. I got in a bar fight and blah, 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 blah. No, I dropped a ladder on my head. And it was a little scar about 1 inch, and you start to feel embarrassed next to people who have really fought, next to people who have real scars from real battles. In Paul's scenario, with your legacy, with fighting the good fight, the sad reality is there are a lot of us who are going to enter into heaven with no scars because we didn't fight. We didn't enter into the battle of our faith. We were scared. We ran away from anything that made us feel uncomfortable. We didn't press in when we should have. We ran away, and we're going to enter into heaven very clean. No wounds, no scars, no battle marks from the fights that we had to metaphorically get into to stand up for our faith. And there are going to be some of us who enter into heaven, metaphorically speaking, with scars that are from very dumb fights. The Bible makes it clear one day you'll be surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, men and women who have been called by Jesus, washed in his blood, filled with his spirit. And you'll stand around and you will have to give an account for the wounds that you develop. And when they ask you, how'd you get that scar? Well, I got this scar because my whole life I fought with everybody. I wanted people to know just how smart I was, how right I was. I argued with people on Facebook about everything 24/7 so they can see that my position was right and they were wrong. Oh, that's where that scar came from? Yeah, man. I was fighting with people. Well, what about that one? How'd you get that scar? That one, my whole life, I fought with my boss. I wanted to prove to him that I could do his job better than he could. And my whole life, I worked overtime every week. I missed time with my kids so that I could climb the company ladder so I can get his job and then shove it in his face so he could see that I'm a better boss than he ever was. I fought my whole life to try to get to the top. Oh, that's where that scar's from? Yeah. What about any other scars? I fought with my spouse, and I got a really bad scar here when she hit me with the frying pan and threw stuff at me. Okay, but that's your stories, that's your scars. And God's saying there are scars that matter, and there's scars that have meaning. And in order to build a legacy that lasts, to have a legacy that inspires your children, to have a legacy that inspires your children's children to want to walk with Jesus, to follow God, you got to fight fights, but you got to fight the good fight. You got to stop wasting your time fighting and working in life to fight things that don't matter. You've got to begin to fight the good fight, to fight to love others, the fight to forgive someone who's hurt you, the fight to encourage people that need encouraging, the fight to love and serve your enemy even when they don't deserve it. The fight to say, you know what, me and my wife, we were in our 50s and we finally decided we were going to use the rest of our life to pour into, to encourage, to mentor younger couples. So that when they were going through the same things we went through at 25, that we can encourage them to stay the course, to continue to walk with God, to continue to know that they can make it through this bad season, to love them, to encourage them. We decided to use our marriage from 50 to 75, those 25 years we had left. We wanted to pour out our lives so that others could be loved, encouraged, mentored, and find hope in their marriage. Because that's what we needed at 25. We needed someone to mentor us, and that's what we did. Some of them turned their back on us. Some of them talked about us. Some of them didn't listen. But you know what? Those scars were worth it. Those scars mattered. Those scars from serving, from loving, meant something, not only to them, but to God. And this is the kind of life that means something, one that's poured out like a drink offering so that others can know the goodness of the God of the universe, to know their love, to be served well, to be encouraged. We not only need to fight the good fight, but of course, number 2 is you need to run your race. What's so difficult about this very thing right here is we oftentimes aren't running the race the right way. Right? When I say run a race, immediately what comes to our mind is competition. Right? We think, okay, hey, I think about track and field, I think about marathons, I think about 5Ks. When we think about racing, we think about running a race that has a winner. You all line up on a track, the gun goes off and you run. First one over the finish line is the winner. But that's not the kind of race Paul is talking about. Right? Because in life, if you're treating your race like a competition, here's what you'll do. In the middle of your life, in the middle of your race, you'll look behind you and you'll say, oh, I'm way further ahead than they are. Look how far behind me they are. I got plenty of distance between them. I'm so much further ahead than them. I'm so much better off than they are. They're so far behind, they barely even left the starting line. And then we'll look ahead and say, I don't know if I can catch that guy. Man, he's made so much progress. I don't even know if I can get to that point of the race. I don't know if I can close the distance before the finish line. They're going to beat me to the end. And when you treat your race like a competition, when you treat your life like a competition, you will always be discouraged by the people in front of you, and you will always be prideful about the people you're ahead of. But the reality is this: your life is not that kind of race. Because we don't run the race to win, we run the race to finish. Your life is not a competition. Your race is not a competition. Let me give you some encouragement, some hope today. There's only one person in your race, and it's you. There's no one else running the race that you've been given. God has given each and every single one of us a unique race that only you can run. But you think it's a competition. And God's standing in the stands and saying, there's no one else on the field. The only goal for you to do is finish. You fell down, that's fine, buddy, get up. Wipe the dirt off your knees, put some Neosporin on it, let's keep going. Don't worry about someone catching you. This isn't a competition. There's no one else on the track field. This is a race of one. All I'm asking you to do is finish. You don't have to win. You don't have to worry about where other people are in their own race. Your race is a race of one, and the more you treat your life like a competition that you have to win, the more depressed you'll become, the more anxious you'll become, the uncontentment in your life will rise. But when you see that your race is a race of one, the only goal is to finish, the more you can have peace, the more you can have hope, the more you can be reminded of how loved you are. Let me say this, because I know that some of you probably need to hear this before we move on. Some of you are so anxious. Some of you are so depressed. Some of you are so angry. Some of you are so discontented with your life because you're running the race your dad gave you. You're running the race your boss told you to run. You're running a race that society said you needed to run. You're running races that don't matter. There's only one race in your life that matters, and that's the race that God has given you. Your purpose, your life. And the more you run other races that your daddy put on top of you as expectations, the more you run races of what society says you need to be, how much money you need to make, the kind of house you need to live in, the kind of life you need to have, the more you will become frustrated and discontented with your life. But when you focus on the only race that matters, the race of your faith, to run it faithfully, to not feel like you have to finish before everyone else, but to run it faithfully and know that even when you fall and get up, you don't have to worry about who's behind you because there's no one behind you. It's a race only you can run. And in order to have a legacy that matters, finish that race. We finish every other race. We finish the race our daddy told us to have. We finish the race our boss put on us. We finish the race of life that society says we need to do. And we never begin racing the only race that matters, the one that God gives you, the one you can only run. And to have that legacy that matters, that inspires a generation after you, you have to finish the race that God gave you. Finish the race that matters. Don't rush. Don't get disheartened when you fail because there's no one competing with you. It's a race of one. The only goal is to finish. If we're going to have a legacy that matters, first we have to fight the good fight, the fight that's important. We have to run your race, the race that God has given you, not any other race. And then lastly, we have to keep the faith. Right? Paul says, I fought the good fight, I finished the race, and I kept the faith. For most of us, when you think about your Christian life, if you're a Christian in the room, when you first gave your life to Jesus, you started out really hot. You were passionate, you were zealous, you loved God with all your heart, you wanted to do everything, jump into every Bible study, go to every church. You were so incredibly on fire for God. But like everyone, not just you, everyone else, as life continues to go on, we go down and get colder and get colder and get more apathetic, get more lethargic. That's how life works. It's not just you, it's everybody. But as we grow older, we say things like, I want to do great things for God, but I also want to keep my nice house. I also want to keep my nice salary. I also want to have all my free time open to do whatever I want. I want to be able to retire by 55. See, when you first become a Christian, you say, whatever God wants, I want to do it. I'll follow you anywhere, Jesus, just like Peter said. But then life beats you down and you realize, like, I want to serve God, but, I also want to keep my life the way I want to keep it. But that's not what Paul is saying when he says, I have kept the faith. What Paul is saying is, I've kept the faith even when I didn't have a reason to keep the faith. When I was serving people and they spat in my face, I kept the faith. When I was preaching the good news and they beat me with stones and threw me in a prison where I had no food and water for 7 days, I kept the faith. When I felt like my life was at its very worst and I was shipwrecked and I was bitten by snakes and I had a thorn in my side, I kept the faith. I kept the faith to the very end. I kept the faith and held fast to Jesus when I had nothing else left in my life to hold on to. Imprisoned in a cell, shackled with no food, no water, no bathroom. And for those days, all I had to cling to was my faith, and I kept it to the very end. I never lost hope. I never turned my back. I kept the faith to the very end. The question I want to ask you is, today, May 25th, 2025, is your life more reliant and dependent on your faith today than it was 2 years ago, than it was 10 years ago, than it was when you first became a Christian 25 years ago for some of you? Is your faith more of a necessity, something you lean on and rely on more heavily now than you ever have? The reality for us is, just like me, what we're not careful of is life makes us want to become more and more comfortable and rely less and less on our faith to fuel our life. We get comfortable with the things, the nice things of this world, and we begin to lose focus on our faith journey. The only thing that matters. When it comes to keeping the faith, at Forest Park Church, if you're new here and you don't know, our mission is to help people follow Jesus one step at a time. It's why we have it plastered on our big wall out there in the main lobby. We want to see people take their next step, follow Jesus one step at a time. And that requires keeping the faith. That requires trusting the process. That requires continuing to follow Jesus even when I don't want to. So when it comes to your legacy, I want you to ask this question: what does my next step in faith look like? Like, what is my next step? Here's what I know. I know people and I know me. Here's what I know. The more we get older, the less we think we have a next step to take. The older we get, we say, well, Pastor, I gave my life to Jesus. I repeated the sinner's prayer. I got baptized. I was dunked, not sprinkled, because only dunking in the baptism tank is real baptism. I was dunked. And then I started giving. I set up my automated giving. Then I came every Sunday. I had perfect attendance. Then I started volunteering. And then I joined a group. Then I led a group. Pastor, there's no more steps for me to take. I am 65 years old. I have taken every step in my faith that I need to take. And the reality is, you will never be at a point in your life where you do not have a next step to take. The question is, what is that next step? We have a lot of people who think they're at the end of their life, so my steps are done. I'm at the end of the journey. I'm at the end of my life. I've done everything I said I would do, and I've done it well. But there's always a next step. And your next step not only determines your legacy, what people will know about you, and how you will inspire the generations to come. But more importantly, your next step impacts how other people will know Jesus, not just your immediate family. Let me just get very practical, pull the curtain back, if you will, be as upfront and straightforward as I can. Unfortunately, I think my Achilles heel sometimes is I'm too straightforward. I could probably afford to beat around the bush a little bit. But I just want to tell you that your legacy impacts not only your family, it impacts your church family. Here's the reality of Forest Park Church. If you've been here a while, you know this. After this Sunday, specifically this Sunday, Memorial Day, until Labor Day, which I believe this year is August 31st, which is so weird. Those 3 months, we will see an exodus. Not an exodus as in like they left the church for good, an exodus in the sense of like, it's summertime, we're not gonna be here. And not only do we see that for 3 months, we see giving go down for 3 months. When we say we want you to automate your giving, it's because we understand life is tough and we know that you want to have vacations, but it's important too to give even when you can't be here. Here's why I tell you this. June is by far one of our least attended months of the entire calendar year, but June is by far one of the most expensive in how much money we have to use for ministry in our church. You see the dilemma? We have VBS that we love. I love VBS, but it costs thousands of dollars. We have summer camp for my students. I love it. It's my favorite week of the year with my students, but it costs thousands of dollars. We have Busch Gardens that we take our kids to that costs hundreds of dollars. We have a Her Night at the end of the month for our women that costs hundreds of dollars. We have things constantly in June that require money, but June is by far our least giving and least attended month of the year. Do you see the dilemma? We took up a special offering for Kid Venture that we want to remodel sometime soon this summer. And on Easter, we took up a special offering for them. Thank you for your giving, by the way. We raised a lot of money, and we're excited to remodel that area because our children matter, and their faith matters. And we want them to grow up to know who Jesus is, to be excited to come to church, to actually tell mommy and daddy, I can't wait to go to Kid Venture. I can't wait to learn about Jesus. And we took up all this money, and then this past 2 weeks, we had HVAC go out back there that we had to fix. That cost thousands of dollars. My point is this. If you're not committed to taking your next step, not only do you suffer, not only does your family suffer, the church suffers. It's not about Forest Park Church. It's about the children that are back there who need to hear about Jesus. It's about the students who are in here today who need to have a place to hear about Jesus. It's about the older people. It's about our groups. It's about our outreach ministry that needs funding so we can reach the community with food banks and ways to help them eat a meal every month. But it requires you taking your next step. You are the catalyst for change in this community. And the more we put our next step off and say, Jesus, I know my next step, but really, I'm good. Wait until after summer. Maybe I'll take my next step then. The more the church hurts, the more the church bleeds. The truth is we need you now more than ever. Volunteers need a break more than ever. I know some of you volunteers who serve 3 out of 4 Sundays. Thank you. We need to find more people. Here's the reality. Your next step can not only change your family, it can change the families in our community. So instead of taking the summer as a break, take the summer to take your next step. If you're not coming, start coming. If you're not giving, start giving. If you're not serving, start serving. If you're not in a group, join a group. This is what is needed in order for the church to be healthy so that families can be impacted. And you may say, well, Preston, this just sounds so self-serving. You're the pastor. I promise you, talk to any volunteer who serves every week. They will tell you just how much we need more volunteers. Here's what I want to leave you with. What legacy are you really leaving? Because here's the truth. It's not what's said about you at your funeral that determines your legacy. Everybody is so kind at funerals. We have rose-colored glasses on at funerals, and oftentimes we misremember reality at funerals. Here's the reality. It's what's said about you 6 months after your funeral that is actually more true of your legacy. when the emotions have come down, when the funeral's gone, when you're buried in the ground or spread in ashes, however you choose to go. Your legacy is actually what people say about you 6 months after your funeral, not at your funeral. And here's what I want for you. As a man, as a woman, as a child, as a teenager in here today, all the Christian men and women that are watching online, I want your legacy to inspire your children to walk with God. I want your legacy to inspire your grandchildren to walk with God. I want your legacy to mean something to our community that means something more than he was just a nice guy. He worked hard. I want people to remember your faith. I want people to tell stories about how faithful you were to God and the gospel and the kingdom of God. Because you need to ask the question, am I fighting the good fight? Because some of us at the end of our life will have scars from battles that meant nothing. You need to ask yourself the question, did I run my race? My race, the one that God gave me. Some of us are going to spend our whole life running races that don't matter. Did you keep the faith? Some of us, our faith is not what we're going to be remembered for. And that's not what I want for our people, for our community, for our church. Here's why I say all this matters, because I think about the big picture. I think about your life. I think about my life constantly. I don't want you to get to the end of your life, and this is so weird. When I say the end of your life, whatever age that may be a grandparent, sitting on your back porch, rocking in your rocking chair, and I don't want your grandchildren to have to come up to grandma and grandpa and say, Grandpa, tell me a faith story. And you have nothing to tell them. Grandma, tell me about your faith. And what you say is, we went to church about once every blue moon. I want your faith to be so powerful, to be so vibrant, to be so loving, to be so impactful that your children and your children's children will say, I want to be like him when I grow older. Not only the hard work he put, but more than that, I want to love Jesus like he loved Jesus. I want to love the church and I want to love our community and serve the way my grandma served the community. I want to hear about how God uses them to do amazing stories that they can retell every day that will inspire generations. I know that many of us have been on cruise control, and to be quite frank with you, so have I. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers like the finger's not pointed at me as well. But your legacy is what matters not only to God, but to this community, to this church, and more importantly, to your family. And what is said about your faith when you die is going to be an incredible part of your legacy. And in order for your legacy to count, in order for your legacy to inspire the next generation, you've got to fight the good fight. You've got to run your race, and you've got to keep the faith. And that all can only happen when we don't do the bare minimum, and more importantly, when we take our next step in following Jesus. My encouragement for you is find that next step, be faithful, walk in faith, trust God, fight the fight, run the race. Don't lose hope. Because no matter how much you feel like you're missing the mark, here's the good news I want to leave you with today. Your legacy still has time to develop. Your life still has days ahead of you. Don't waste those days. If you feel like there's things you need to change them. Your days are numbered. Don't waste them. Use what time God has given you left to change the trajectory of your legacy and what is said about your faith when you're gone. There is time, there is hope, and there is a God who loves you and wants more for you than maybe you feel like where you're at today. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for your love. Thank you for your grace. Thank you that even when we fall short, God, even when I fall short, even when I fail, even when I miss the mark, even when I feel like I'm good for nothing, God, you look at me and you see what you want from me. You see where I can be. You see how you can use me in spite of my failures. You see what is impossible for me to see. God, I don't want my legacy to be remembered as a good speaker. I don't want people to remember me based on the clothes I wore, the car I drive, the house I had. I don't want people to remember me based on the money in my bank account. God, I want people to remember me based on the faith that I showed them that I had in a God who loved me. That is the prayer I have for my life, to inspire my son to inspire my son's children to want to walk with Jesus. Help me focus on what's most important. Help me stop fighting fights that don't matter. Help me stop focusing on races that don't mean anything. God, help me keep the faith. Help me remain hopeful. Help me be the example for the next generation. You're so gracious to me. You're so loving to me. And you have hope for me even when I can't see it. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace. In Jesus' name, amen. Give you guys a couple of announcements really quick before we let you go for Memorial Day. Number one is if you're new here, we want to encourage you to go to the New Here area after service, whether you take a physical Connect card or go to that link right there on the screen. If you go to the New Here area, we have a gift for you just to say thanks for coming. But more importantly, really, if you have questions about Forest Park, what we stand for, who we are, what we got going on this summer, go to the New Here area. That's where you can get all those questions answered. I want to remind you specifically, if you are graduating from high school, college, trade school, whatever, it doesn't have to just be high school graduates. If you are a graduate this year, we want to honor you. In 2 weeks on June 8th, we're going to have you come up on stage. We're going to celebrate you. We have a gift for you. We want to honor this big step in your life's journey. If you as a parent or you as a teenager or you as a graduate here today or watching online want to be a part of being recognized, we would love to do that for you. All we need you to do is email me at preston@fplive.org. I need to get some information from you, give you some information, and then June 8th, during our second service, we're gonna honor your graduates. We would love to do that for your family as this big step. I wanna remind you, in 2 weeks, we have VBS for our children. If you have a child who's age 3, fully potty trained through 5th grade, we want them to be there. This is an amazing week. Allison will have this whole church decked out in just over a week. You do not want to miss it. Her and her team do an amazing job, but we need you to sign up your child ahead of time. So go to fplive.org/VBS to register your kid. It's so important you register them ahead of time. We need to know how much to plan for. But also, more importantly, this is a great opportunity for you to take your next step and volunteer. This is a 1 week thing you can volunteer for, Monday through Friday. You get to serve our children, serve our volunteers. This is great. If you want to be a part of VBS as a volunteer, go to that same link. There's a link on there to sign up as a volunteer. I want to remind you, if you would love to donate, we have students who are trying to go to summer camp and we need to raise funds. There are many families who can't afford the entire balance. So we're having a spaghetti plate sale. If you'd love to buy a ticket, right through those double doors, that table right there where Miss Marion will be standing, you can buy a plate. We'll be giving them out next week after the second service. So you can pick them up if you've already bought a plate. Or if you didn't bring cash or anything and you're like, I want one, I just don't have money, you can still buy them next week. But everything we take in is going straight to the students and their families to help them go to camp. Your generosity in that would be greatly appreciated. As a student pastor who works with our teenagers, camp will change students' lives, and you can be a part of that by simply buying a $10 plate. Thank you guys so much for being here on this one service Sunday. We hope you have an incredible Memorial Day. Please, no matter what you're doing tomorrow, take time to honor the people who served and brought us our freedom through sacrifice. Tomorrow's not about barbecues. It's not about a day off from work. Tomorrow is about those who gave their life and paid the ultimate sacrifice. Make sure you take time to honor them tomorrow. Love you guys. See you next week.